My fish fam! It's Nikachu, and we are back to playing some modern Merfolk. Again with Tishana's Tidebinder. 100% locked in, staple of the deck. Get your copies. I don't know when the best time is to get them, but get them if you can get them. And I want to try something new. Let's try this deck without Merfolk, Deep Root Pilgrimage. Not to say it's a bad card. I don't think it's a bad card at all. But anyway, I got a Jam Force Negation in my main deck because I have scouted the metagame. That's right. I spent a few hours the other day trying to look up the winner's metagame, essentially, of Modern. And this is what I came up with. We've got Yawgmoth undisputedly killing in the winner's metagame and at a ton of copies at 21. We got Amulet at 15. Next is Footfalls. Murktide, Living End, Scam in many different flavors, mostly Orzhov, a little bit of Dimir, also a little bit of Rakdos. Tron, Burn, Hammer, Coffers, Creativity. Because I couldn't trust the MTG Goldfish data. I don't know where they're getting their data. I don't know how they come about it. So anyway, this is as of 1 week ago. For the last week, these are the decks that are winning. So top 32s or top 25% of events in modern challenges, or 3-1 or better in preliminaries. This is the winner's metagame. And I think we need Force Negation. Force Negation game 1 versus Yawgmoth good. Game 2 and 3 not nearly as good, but also good versus Amulet. Footfalls, not so good versus Murktide, but great versus Living End. Tron, Burn. It's a very good card to have in the main deck. So I have to have in the main deck. We have to kick out cards. And I'm like, you know what? If I have to screw off my Smuggler's Copter to make this thing in here, there's some cards I really want. Like, I want Spreading Seas in the main deck. I want Mare Reejery for the power to close out games. I want more cards in my sideboard. I want to fill up 4 Cursed Tomes and also 4 Dismembers. So taking out Merfolk Pilgrimage, which I think is a fine card. It's a great card. You can play the card. But it's not always obvious that it's better than just another random card in its place. I want to try a league without it, but we'll have Force Negation in the main, also Spreading Seas in the main, and Reejery in the main. Hopefully, both these cards help me in the Yawgmoth matchup. Although, to be honest, I think Pilgrimage would help us there as well. Anyway, let's go play Modern League. This looks like a awkward keeper. If we get Thoughtseize, we're not going to be happy. It's an awkward keeper because we've got Mutavault, Cavernous Souls, and no way to actually cast these damn things. Trickster, Lord of Atlantis. I mean, we do have the Aether Vial, but then that's what we're going to have to rely on. Ragavan. That's not nice. Okay, so I guess we're just going to Cavern, Merfolk, Aether Vial. I don't want to go turn 1 Dockhand. That would slow me down too much versus this Murktide deck. Ragavan is the most dangerous when they're playing blue because they can play all our cards off the top of their library. All our cards off the top of our deck. Not pleasant. But it is what it is what it is. They fetch Shock immediately. What the hell does that mean? You intend on playing my Mare Reejery off the top of my deck? Just as I say, they got the Mare Reejery. And unfortunately, I don't have... Okay, but they prefer to play their Dragon Rage Challenger. They're wasting my Reejery. What a waste of resources here. Okay, we have a Trickster for this Dragon Rage Chandler, but we have to set it up, people. All right, we got to set us up the bomb. So we have to wait for a moment where we can at least have 2 creatures in play so that when they attack, we Trickster it, and then we go for the double block. Nobody survives the double block. Ooh, we got Otawara. That changes a lot about what I wanted to do. I thought we were going to be playing Mutavault, and then we would activate Mutavault, try to block Ragavan, and then also Violin Dockhand to try to block Ragavan. With Otawara, I think we're just going to be playing Otawara. Or maybe I'm still going to do that. Maybe I'm still going to play Mutavault, try to block. Because this is going to be clunky for the rest of the game. And I would rather they burn a removal spell on this Mutavault and then we play Ottawa, and then we just play our blue spells for the rest of the game. I think that's actually going to be better because we're in defense mode right now. And I don't want to burn my Trickster just yet. I don't want to play a Lord this turn and they kill it. So let's do it this way. So they can't use the removal this turn. Be a poor use of their removal. We're on defense just for a little while. I mean, if they don't kill anything, I think that'll be fine as well. Can't really afford to play Ether Vial at the moment. They got a lot of mana. Well, here comes Murktide for nothing? Maybe? That seems so dangerous. Okay, are they going to let me block here? No. Not yet, at least. Okay, let's see if they have a second removal spell, though. Put a Spell Pierce in the graveyard. Okay, do you have Tashanda's Tidebinder? Oh yeah, they have Tashanda's Tidebinder in that deck. I keep forgetting about that. Like, I'm playing as if Tashanda's Tidebinder doesn't exist. When really, I should be trying to play around Tashanda's Tidebinder a little bit. Or at least, I would like to have it on my mind. Okay, there is land, artifact, instant. That will never grow this. So, like, another instant could, in theory, grow the Channeler if there was a creature on top. Let's go block the Channeler. Hopefully that just eats it for nothing. Also, this is, in some way, this is also a better block, because if there's two Ragavans in my opponent's hand... Oh, no! Oh, no! My Tashana's Tidebinder is about to work for my Murktide opponent. What is going on here? My opponent's at 13 life. I feel like I'm winning. I'm winning the race for some stupid reason. Yeah, they're gonna play my Tidebinder. They're gonna get no value though. Okay, so what can we learn about our opponent? Our opponent actually has no removal, which is nice. So we might be able to just run over our opponent here. They might have a handful of like counter spells. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speculate what's going on with our opponent. Okay, so we'll play this. Don't play the Lord of Atlantis, not yet, because that pumps up the Tidebinder. So I'll play Lord. Yeah, I think this is fine. I'll attack for 2. There's a world where you could play the Mutavault, still have it on blocking, but I think I'm going to Trickster something. Not sure if it's going to be Tidebinder or our Ragavani, our monkey madness creature. Expressive Iteration. They always draw Expressive Iteration when they're in trouble. I don't know how to put it. It's like, I feel like I'm ahead. They just need to draw a blank. They play frickin' Expressive Iteration. Okay, so this was a pretty bad Expressive Iteration because they went to get a bauble and a land. This is a very, very, very bad Expressive Iteration. So they still have no removal unless they're going to draw it off of this bauble. Because I'm pretty sure they drew Expressive Iteration. And I guess we're going to tap down our Tidebinder. Because it's just the bigger thing. I mean, I guess there's a world where I let Ragavan... I'm only doing this because I don't think my opponent has removal, so if they attack with Ragavan, I would just block it with this. What is this? It's Murktide, right? Okay, so there's a Murktide. Not a big deal. We should be able to erase it. This is for 10 damage. Yeah. I think we should be able to erase this. In fact, our opponent's very close to dead as it is. Ooh, we got a Tidebinder of our own, which I don't see being particularly useful at all. So I'm going to get Hoofed for 9. Potentially more, to be honest. Okay, so there is a world where my opponent plays the second Murktide, buffs up their Murktide. Or can I counter that? I can counter that with the Tashanas. Whenever an instant or sorcery leaves your graveyard. Yeah, I can counter that with Tashana's Tidebinder, so I don't have to worry about that. Charge! I was trying to think, how do I lose this? There's ways of losing this. Alternatively, yeah, I mean, maybe this is not necessary. Like, alternatively, you could just play safe. You could just attack for, what is this, 5? Put your opponent down to 6, and they're effectively dead. But I mean, you still risk, like, the top deck expressive iteration. Like, I'm going to put them to 1, and then this dock hand is lethal. So they need a lot of things to go right in that, from that spot. And they're quite a bit far behind. I mean, they do have a new fresh card in their hand from Bobble, so who knows? Okay, I'm starting to think our opponent's multi-queuing here. You like my new counterspell overlay? I like it. I always imagined a counterspell overlay, but tried to stick to my brand for as long as possible. Okay, our opponent didn't even want to... that's interesting. They didn't want to play to their Murktide outs. They can't be stream sniping. This is offline. Okay, cards good in this matchup. Dismember. And actually, I think Chalice of the Void is actually fine. It'd be even better if we had access to Harbinger, because then we could play Chalice, then bounce GRC and Ragavan. Okay, we're going to take out Force Negation. This card's pretty bad. They are going to bring in answers for Chalice, but, I mean, better to force them to have it. Spring Sea is not useful. We'll take out one Tide Shaper to limit our liability versus Chalice of the Void. I don't know which one's better or worse. I sort of like that the dock hand is a Island Walker, but I don't know. Having a 2/2 creature might be just as useful. It just dawned on me, having Merfolk Deep-Root Pilgrimage in your deck is like sort of a hedge against Ragavan, because if your opponent plays Ragavan, you just, like, if they reveal a Deep-Root Pilgrimage, they can never use it. Okay, opponent plays Preordained, which usually means they're going to set up a turn 2 Ledger Shredder, which is fine. We'll go Otawara turn 1. This hand sort of requires a second blue source, or just any source to cast Tishana's Tidebinder by turn 3. Uh-oh. I mean, I kept it because I had turn 1 play. And we're not that far off from casting things, so. Show me Ledger Shredder. Show me Ledger Shredder. There's the Ledger Shredder. Show me the Bobble. Oh, no Bobble. Okay. Bobble this. Right on time. Okay, what do we want to play? I guess we want to play... So, in my opinion, you want to play the Master of the Pearl Trident out first, because if you play Lord of Atlantis, they'll rush out their own Tishana's Tidebinder. And then, like, they'll just keep it on the board. They'll just protect it, frankly, and kill everything else. I sort of want to keep the this Trickster, because if they play Dragon Rage Chandler, then I just have... I'm looking at Trickster like a piece of removal in this matchup. It's just a piece of removal. Okay, our opponent just had a really bad hand. I don't even know what's in their hand. It could be anything. They had like no... I don't get it, actually. I guess they're missing on land drops, and their hand is full of Ledger Shredders or something, and Murktides. That's the only reasonable logical explanation I could think of. Okay, we won the die roll here. It's a hand. I'll keep it. How to play out this hand? I could go turn 1 Mutavault Vial with the intention of attacking with Mutavault next turn. I could go Island Vial with the intention of playing Lord. Flash in Dockhand. Next turn, play Mutavault. Because, like, the way I'm looking at these hands, if I don't draw any more Lords, I should play Mutavault turn 1 to attack with it. But if I draw any more, a single creature in the next 3 turns, it's probably better that I start off with Island Vial. Then I just play a Lord, Vial in Dockhand, following turn. The Mutavault's just really awkward with this hand. It would be great if I had one of these creatures was like a blue 1 generic card. Mutavault, Dockhand, Flash and Lord, Flash and another Lord. Also, it would really help to know what I'm up against. Okay, we 3 turns. We probably draw at least something. Although we only get 2 draw steps. Yeah, I don't get... Okay, well, I'm going to hope I draw something. To redeem myself. Oh, drats. Okay, if it was a Thoughtseize deck, it was better to have Mutavault. Oh, it's probably Scam! I'm about to get scammed here. We're gonna get scammed, ladies and gentlemen. So if we're gonna get scammed, they can scam this. Unless this is Shadow. I mean, it could be Shadow. I don't have that much information right now. I will sacrifice my Mutavault. In the name of stopping monkeys. I really feel like I'm just trying to stop, what's it called? Fable of the Mirror Breaker. You're gonna Malakir Rebirth this thing immediately. You lose 2 life until an end. When this creature dies, return to the battlefield under your control. So is it like maybe I just don't even do anything this turn? Like, why am I even exchanging anything? They just burned a card. All right, I'll actually just take the damage. They still cannot play Fable of the Mirror Breaker this turn, and that's fine by me. I think they're supposed to wait for me to block. Oh, you want my Dockhand? As Island Walk. I have an island, so they didn't do anything with their turn. Or maybe they don't have a stop on their main phase or something. That also tells me, again, they don't have removal in their hand. Okay, forget that. Forget all those assumptions. It was all wrong. You want to kill my Mutavault now? Here's your chance. No? Alright. I have a Tidebinder. I got a Tidebinder. Alright. Just pass, I guess. What am I going to do with this Ragavan? Oh, you know what's interesting? I could try to block it. They could do another Malakir Rebirth, and then we counter the effect when Ragavan dies. Although, I have to say, at this point of the game, maybe it's better I just hold on to my creatures. I'm trying to think. Okay. Well, they're not afraid of the stupid Ragavan dying, that's for sure. Now, Ragavan is not nearly as dangerous in a black-red deck because it's just so much harder to cast our cards. Although it's going to get a lot easier with more of these treasure tokens out. I sort of want to save Tishana's Tidebinder for, like, Fable the Mirror Breaker. If they hardcast Grief. I could still try to block. No, okay, I'm just going to let it through. Let's try to use our creatures to actually attack and win the game. They're not going to win off of our stuff. Let's see, that island, that was a brick. Ragavan looks amazing until that happens. Thought the Voidwalker, not a big deal. Do we counter the fetch? I mean, it's guaranteed. Again, I'm concerned about... This does deal with Fable the Mirror Breaker this turn. And there's no guarantee that I can actually use this Tishana's Tidebinder after they crack it. So let's just get it right now. Let's get him. Stifle on a Merfolk. Oh, yeah. and ending the turn. All right. So now in this case, now that we know that this is not a... Well, now do we know what the deck is. Or I don't know. Was I holding back Lord of Atlantis in this game? I don't think so. We're just going to throw it out there. We're going to attack for a pretty good chunk of damage. And we don't have to be worrying about Fury. Because that's what we always worried about before. Got to be careful around Fury. Now I don't have to be careful around Fury. Merfolk was the best positioned deck to play around Fury. And now we don't have to worry at all about that stupid card. Now let's just get in for, what is this going to be? Like, almost lethal? Like, this is very close to lethal. For sure, they're not going to hit us for 16 damage next turn. What is this going to be? 5, 11, 14. Holy crap. And mind you, Scam has removal, but they've got a lot of creatures. It's not like Murktide, where they've got, like, you know, 12-ish creatures and then a big pile of draw spells and removal. Uh-oh. Lightning Bolt? Please be Lightning Bolt. Oh. That's okay. That will... It's a bit harmless. It does put up blockers, though. Oh, maybe they're going to go after my Lord of Atlantis. Oh, maybe they're going to double block the Lord of Atlantis, thinking, this thing's going to die. They spent their entire treasure trove. You know, Smog would be very disappointed that they wasted all their treasure on that. And Lord doesn't even die. Not today, Bowmasters, not today. You got thwarted by a billion lords. Got lorded out. Okay, DRC. Or sorry. Okay, Ragavan, make my day. Alright, they packed it up. Cards we want. We want Dismember. Cards we don't want. Force of Negation. Oh, another thing, like, the way I've built this deck, it's just really clean and easy to sideboard. Like, really easy to sideboard. And now I'm not sure, do I even need to be on the draw anymore? I said, like, before, against Scam, I'm going to take the draw. I don't know if that is as necessary as it was before. Like, maybe. I mean, I think we were on the draw that match? Was I? Hold on. No, I was on the play that game. I was on the play. Yeah, no, we won. Yeah, submit. Thoughts on the no music gameplay? I understand that some of you like to watch this on like 2x speed, and so having music in the background is really jarring / terrible. You know what? I can get behind that. I understand that. And to some degree, I like streaming it like this because I can listen to whatever the hell I want. And if you want to know, I'm listening to some, what's it called? Relaxing Jazz Instrumental Music from Coffee Relaxing Jazz YouTube channel. I don't like this hand very much, but it's cards and spells, so it's not a very fancy hand. But we do get to curve out, so I mean, it's got that going for it. All right, Dockhand. We're sacrificing you, Dockhand. You're gonna be sacrificed. I'm sorry. They're thinking, do I want to kill this stupid Dockhand? They might be limited on their removal. They only have so many bolts. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that, Dockhand. I used you as bait. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. Wow, no Voidwalker on turn 2, so they're playing a more patient game. We'll just play an Island Pass. If they play Fable, I'll counter it with Hexcatcher. I hate Fable the Mirror Breaker. I find that is such an annoying card. If they play anything else, we can... this is not a big deal. Okay. Actually, this is... Okay, so this says one of two things to me. They've got another one. Whenever like these Rakdos decks, I mean, unless my opponent is just not very experienced, usually they hold back the Bowmasters to try to block in combat, like just gang blocking on a creature, or to hit like a Hexcatcher. Well, this is not fun. Actually, this is not going to be too bad. They cannot hit both my tricksters, so they can't scam me here. They can take one, but then when they give Undying to their grief, I can trickster it, and then it will lose the ability to come back. So this is actually going to be fantastic. This is a very rare moment. It's hard to have like two blue up. They took my Hexcatcher. Okay, so I guess they don't have a Bowmasters. Okay, my opponent just well, let's just say they're about to learn things. They're about to learn things. So you let like the not dead at all, not dead after all resolve. So now it has the ability when this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped, and then after that you trickster it. I mean, maybe this what I would think this is the best thing to take. I mean, unless they do have the what's it called? Unless they have another. No, unless they have Fable the Mirror Breaker and they were really trying to play around that. Now, they can play around it by playing another Not Dead After All, but it looks like we just got a 3-for-1, fellas. A 3-for-1. This is called the reverse scam. We scammed the scammer. They took one card from us. We took 3 of theirs. The reverse scam. I guess. Okay, hold on. How do we do this? I want to attack, but I also don't want to throw my damn lord into nothing. Okay, but do you know what? To be honest, okay, let's say they have a bolt. Who cares? Like, it's really not even that big of a deal. I'm just thinking if they bolt this, double block my trickster. I mean, they would be empty-handed. They would have nothing, and we would have a hand still full of cards. So, like, we win that war. It's like 4 cards versus nothing. Okay, chump block Roonies. And pass. They do have a castle, but, like, they lose life. Most importantly, they're going to tap out to play the damn thing. Oh, they got a grief? Oh, they got a shield dread. Ooh. Ugh. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Okay, problem solved. Okay, that was amazing. Okay, we just need our opponent not to top deck. What bad could happen? Do they have Anger of the Gods in this deck? I don't think so. I guess I'm going to shut off their card draw machine, because that also gains them life. Okay, we'll attack for 3. Okay, we can race this now. Though I'm not really thrilled about the predicament here. Like, there's even a lot of cards if they draw, they're basically duds. So we're basically getting hit for 6 a turn. That's fine. That's a 3-turn clock. I mean, the most important thing is that they don't draw, like, I don't know, Fatal Push in the next few turns. Because once we get, like, this extra lord down, like, Tide Shaper is protected. They may not even want to attack in the fear that we double block. I mean, if I were them, I would just bluff it. Like, blocking is not that great for me. Especially if they have the threat of removal. Yeah, the more they think about it, it seems like they don't have removal. They're playing scared. The scaredy cat. The scaredy cat. We have another Tide Shaper, so we have insurance. Unless they're playing for a giant blowout. I could sort of play around a giant blowout by even just playing trick. I could actually attack with everything. If they kill Tide Shaper, I can, like, Trickster to the Shield Dread just to make sure I get in a bunch of damage, and then I follow it up with nothing. That doesn't sound good. Or I play Master of the Pearl Trident, then attack with all these dorks. I guess that's okay. Okay, if they had removal, would they attack with a shield dread? Maybe not. Yeah, maybe if they had a removal spell, maybe they were thinking because it's better for for me to attack, and they go for a gigantic blowout. So, what is the best way to hedge against this? I could play Master of the Pearl Trident, just attack with Tide Shaper, and then follow it up, play another Tide Shaper, and then I have two of them. Like, basically I have doubles of everything, and I can't lose. Because if I play the Master of the Pearl Trident, just attack with Tide Shaper, they hit, like, if they kill the Tide Shaper, then whatever, nothing else is lost. And I probably still win next turn anyway. Okay, so I guess that is the best way I can hedge. And then I can even use my Dockhand to cut them off, I don't know, red man or something. Okay, they didn't have squat. Nice bloof. They bloof me. Oops, no, not on my draw, not on the draw step at upkeep. So the deal is, like, we're gonna win anyway. I mean, unless they EE for 2 and they have a land? Maybe that's a problem. What you thinking, opponent? What you thinking? They might be thinking, if I tap out, I'm dead. So I have only one option, pass the turn with a bunch of mana up. After all, that dumb Merfolk player didn't even attack with all of their creatures last turn because I had mana up. Maybe it will work again. And you know what? They'd be right. Oh, they are going for the discards a card. Deal 2 damage to any target. So actually, what are they even going to deal? Oh, they're it's going to deal damage to me. What do I even want to discard? I mean, none of it matters. Okay, discard the Trickster, I guess. Land? Land for the big attack? For the big win? I mean, I'm winning here anyway. Doesn't matter. Alright, we got Lord of Atlantis. Lord of Atlantis. You got Slaughter Pact in your deck? Probably not. That hasn't seen play in the metagame for like 8 years. Attack for way more than 16. Could be 20. What is this? 4, 8, 12, 22. That's a lot of damage. Scam's not so hot without their fury. But we got a really good hand where we just completely blew them out. I don't know if they didn't have the grief set up or something, but yeah, by the time we had 2 mana in play, that was just too much. We won the die roll. And we have a hand. We shall keep it. We don't have anything to do on turn 2, so we might as well let the Tide Shaper be our turn 2 play. And I will also hope to use up these force negations somehow. Just in case we rip lands like crazy, let's just tell them who we are. Besides, our opponent probably already knows who we are. I'm Nikachu. That means I am on Merfolk. Usually. Probably. The Triome. Is that Zoo? If it is Zoo, then this Tide Shaper is going to be great. You see? You see? We're holding on to that Ottawa like a baby. We're holding on. We can't sack our babies here. And we might be also in a good position to hold up, like, we might even, it's very rare that I get to have Force Negation mana up by turn 3. But thanks to Tishana's Tidebinder, it actually increases the value of our Force Negations. Yeah, it looks like Zoo. But I don't know yet. This could be Omnath for all I know. Ooh, Hexcatcher. I think I'm going to play the Mare Regery anyway. Just because it's really hard for me. This is probably my best opportunity to just slam this thing on the battlefield. My opponent can't do anything about it. And then on following turns, we can just rack them with Tidebinder and Hexcatcher. I hope. Looks like this is going to be a... Could be Prismatic Ending for all I know, but it's probably the enchantment, Flash Enchantment. Oh, it is a Prismatic Ending. What is this? Omnath? Well, anyway, I'm going to protect my Tide Shaper. They need to unlock their lands, apparently, and I'm pretty far ahead on the board. This is a little risky, but I don't think it's too bad. Okay, they just conceded. This is what you call a tempo play, because they are chock full of cards in their hand. And I am not. But I'm reasonably sure that between, like, Hexcatcher... Like, if we drew a land, I would just play Hexcatcher, untap a land, make sure we have Tidebinder up, smack for 1,000,000, and, like, probably anything they do, we could probably counter, or at least put Tidebinder in play and effectively have lethal on the board. Okay, I'm assuming, then, this is some sort of Omnath deck? I can't think of many other... Oh, let me look at Zoo. Let's look at Zoo as we speak. Do they have Prismatic Ending? I don't remember. I know they have Tribal Flag. I know they have Leyline. Like, I was expecting Leyline Binding. Look at these car ads I get on the right. I don't even own a car. I have no intention of driving anytime soon. So this has... Even with that one Prismatic Ending... It says a lot about their deck. But what do I want to remove? Probably the Spreading Seas for some subtleties if this is Omnath. I don't know what else I want to... Everything else is pretty good. Some people out there can be justified in playing a Dismember or two. It's nice to kill Omnaths. Yeah, I'm starting to think, do I want Subtlety or Dismember? I'm going to keep everything else. Yeah, whatever. Leave it as it is. Our Omnath matchup probably got a lot better. A lot better now that Fury's gone. They're probably still a dangerous deck themselves. I don't know how they're constructing themselves right now. We'll keep this. A little vulnerable to Prismatic Ending, but I mean, we'll live. Thanks to Regery and Tidebinder, you know, we can just take any random land like another Mutavault off the top, and we're back in business. Our opponent mulligans to 5. On the play, that is, like, already a death sentence. Even for an Omnath deck. Especially since the Omnath curve is, like, so high. But then again, you know, they play, like, 1 Ren and 6, and, like, it undoes everything. We've all seen that. Mulligan to 4, Ren and 6. Just keep bringing that fetch land back. Keep bringing that fetch land. Oh! Turn to Teferi, possible. I got another Vial. Slightly more reason to have Dismember in the deck. Not that I drew my Subtlety. I screwed up. I think I'm supposed to have Mutavault in play, then if they play Teferi, I go in and attack it immediately. Now I can't even do that. I don't really want a Teferi to be around that long. Because I'm not playing like Lord of Atlantis next turn. That's just not happening. Okay, so when's the next turn they can tick this thing up? Well, We got 2 ether vials. How about that? So they go tick up, tick up. Just trying to figure out how this game plays out. They go tick up, tick up. One, view my... I sided out Spreading Seas, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. What is this? Legendary green card. The hell? Nissa, Resurgent Animist. 3 mana for 3/3 with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. So it's Lotus Cobra. Then if this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal an elf or elemental card. Put that card into your hand! And the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That thing's busted. Okay, I'm bringing in all the Dismembers next game. F this card. That thing's broken. And I can't even do anything about it. It basically tutors for Omnath or Solitude. Right? It's just a freaking tutor. It turns all the lands into tutors. And it adds mana. So what did they get? Titania, Protector of Argoth? What kind of weirdo deck is this? Okay, this is not what I thought it was. Okay, what does this do? 5 mana, 5/3. Enters the battlefield, return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield, which will trigger this. And then whenever a land you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, create a 5/3 green elemental. This is going to get out of control really fast. But you know what can get out of control real fast? Merfolk. That's right. We can kill out of nowhere. Even better than them. Okay, I can't play nothing at instant speed, which is very ugly. I need to get rid of this damn thing. Okay, I think this is just our best play. The next turn we go crazy. Maybe we can even kill in one shot if they don't have removal. Teferi can't bounce anything this turn. Like, they've done half the work for us almost. They're at 13 life. Yeah, there was 2 rings. Oh, they have the 1 ring in their deck too. Oh my god, this is disgusting. This is a broken interaction. Like, this is just stupid. And maybe this is just a stupid Merfolk player complaining that they can't kill creatures. But I mean, this is insane. Oh, there's the Solitude. Which I can't even protect with Tishana's Tidebinder yet. Right, here's Titania. Titania, right? Get them land. Land come back. Trigger Nissa again. Oh, so they can get Solitude in play also this turn because they crack, get another mana, then cast Solitude, and also get like a 5/3. Damn it! And you know what? None of this would be possible if I just killed this Teferi on turn 2. Although I wouldn't have any vials in play, so I don't know what my turn 3 would look like. And they would still have this Nissa here. So like even if I played, I mean, but I still prefer that I give myself the option. Like maybe they don't even go for that Teferi play because they know my Mutavault gonna kill their Teferi. Alright, well, so much for a big bonkers turn. Okay, how much are they attacking for? This is like 5, 10, 13. I'm at a lot of life. Although this thing is so annoying. Okay, they're gonna hit me for 3. I mean, it's still possible to win. I mean, if they have no removal and they like hit an Omnath or something. Because I can kill this Teferi. Another Tidebinder. So I can kill Teferi. I mean, they could replay another Teferi. Or actually, I can just attack them. Okay, so let's say attack them for 8, because I can really empty the clip next turn. If I play a Lord... No, I'm just going to kill this stupid Teferi. Tired of looking at it. I'm reasonably sure I can win next turn anyway. Or maybe not. Maybe I didn't calculate the Solitude. They're going to go to 14 life. How much will this be? 13. If we have Old Lords in play... 4, 8, 13? Shoot. Yeah, I'm short a little bit. Okay, maybe I am going to die. Maybe I'm not winning this race. What am I supposed to do there? Attack for 3. You bounce my Lord. I replay it. Attack for 3. You gain 3. I don't know. They could play a ring here or something. Oh, they have another Solitude. Alright. Ah, these cards are just rotting in my hand. Rotting in my hand. This actually looks great for this matchup. I was just siphoned on mana the entire time. And I do not think I'm going to come back from this one. But I tell you what. I am happy that I have 4 Dismembers in my sideboard. I am very happy. I have a feeling I'm going to make a good decision this next game. I had no idea how important their creatures mean to them. Okay, what do we got here? I will... Oh god, do I even have a chance in hell of surviving this? Well, I drew a land. I can play basically my entire hand. Let's just play stuff out. Let's play stuff and see what happens. I don't think anything good is going to happen, but let's see what happens. We have a Mutavault that can properly block a Solitude, but it looks like I'm chump blocking everything else. Bombs or us? Come on down. It's bombs or us. Does anyone get anything here? I don't know what's left in their hand, but maybe it's like a force negation or something. I can use my Tishana's Tidebinder. Get something out of this. So this can be a 5/4 creature. Problem is I have to chump block like both these jerks. That's my major problem here. Like I can block everything, but not very well. So flash in, block. Yeah. Just a little too slow. Hatchling into Teferi, too good. Okay. Actually, is Subtlety good? I don't know if I really want a 2-for-1 myself in this matchup, but... Okay, we know... Is Force Negation good? Yes, they have the 1 ring. Is Trickster good? Actually, yeah, are all these 1-drops good? Okay, let's shave some. Maybe Subtlety is still good here. But we definitely need some Dismembers. Like, they're a very creature-heavy deck. Like, it's very creature-heavy. I just don't know if this is better than Merfolk Trickster. I also don't know if I want so many subtleties on the play. It's hard to tell. You know, I'm going to make a last-second decision to replace... Okay, well, that didn't happen. Because, like, Dockhand has natural Island Walk in this matchup. Ugh. Mulligan. Yeah, we'll keep it. We play at flash speed, which is nice. I'd really like this as a starting hand. Tide Shaper? No. Mutavault though. It's fine. Also, we get to keep the Ottawa in our hand just in case that matters. Somewhere down the line. Oh, can't snipe off that card. Can't snipe you off with this Tidebinder. I'm keeping an eye on you, Misty Rainforest. Yeah, I don't really want to play this. Okay, hold on. Let's say they get the land. I can kill Ren, but then cost me my turn. No. No, we're just going to get rid of this thing. This is not what we really want to do. Like, we're down on resources. We don't even have many threats in our hand. Like, hopefully they just have no more lands. But, you know, generally speaking, versus a deck like Omnath, like, they'll overpower you if you go into the late game. Okay, so maybe we have some advantages here. I mean, they might go fetch land, fetch, and we just, like, Tidebinder them and get them. And then they don't even get to play their turn 3 play. No, they fetched on turn 2, which was smart. Okay, I'll just play Hexcatcher. Hopefully they'll make the ring more awkward. Ooh, a Subtlety. A Subtlety will be great if we draw land. That would be premium. It's hard for them to do something like play Solitude. Leyline Binding. I guess we let it resolve and then just Tidebinder it. It's as good as we're... I don't know if it's as good as it's going to get, but, like, this is not bad. I mean, again, if they, like, play the ring next turn, you can just counter it. Not sure what we sack. Probably the Hexcatcher. Like, it's vulnerable to Ren. If they play Omnath here, I'm not sure what I would do. I guess let it resolve, dismember it on our turn, swing for, like, what's this going to be? 8? Put them to 8, and then have Subtlety and Force Negation up for, like, if they tap out the following turn. Can the Omnath here? Is there green? They do have Ren. Ren kills this. No, we can't have that happen. Alright. Goodbye, Force Negation. You're meant for the One Ring. I guess we have Hexcatcher for the One Ring. They might be choked on green sources. Like, they have a few cards in their deck require green. What's this going to be? Counterbalance? What's 2 mana? Oh, Prismatic Ending. Okay. I might as... do I want this in exile? I don't think it makes a difference. Sure. Let it disappear. I'm just keeping the thing that has a stronger clock on the battlefield. Well, these Dismembers would come in handy if my opponent played some creatures, but that hasn't materialized yet. The fact that they went after the Hexcatcher implies that maybe they do have a ring. Oh no, it's Omnath. Okay, this is good. Draw on the stack. Don't let this resolve. Dismember the Omnath. Because if you let it resolve, then they'll have priority and they can play a fetch land, and then they get the sweet 4 life that they want off of this thing. So now they get to draw a card, but they can have their land drop, but it won't do anything. It is a fetch land, so next turn they potentially could do something with it. So they could play Omnath, I'll dismember in response, and they'll gain 4 life. But I guess that's just what's gotta happen anyway. Okay, I guess they don't have the ring. Okay, I guess they don't have Omnath either. You're gonna get a green card? That's not even a red source. Sorry, that's not even a green source. What the hell do you have in your hand? Just Solitude? Prismatic Ending for 3? It's just possible. Okay, here's the One Ring. Okay. Yes. You have protection from me till next turn. Get to draw a few cards. But you don't have protection from yourself. Ooh, Mutavault. That's a decent draw. We are in pretty good shape here. Like, I don't even know what they could possibly do. This fetch kills them. The One Ring could potentially kill them. Like, I don't even know if they want to draw a card right now. Okay, they're going to go for it. They're going to lose 1 life. They're going to go to 4, which means our Mutavaults are now lethal. All things considered, like, I'm not complaining about being in this spot. Okay, that's unpleasant. Didn't want that to happen. So the only thing, honestly, the only way I usually lose in these situations is my opponent goes like ring into ring into ring. I hate that. Absolutely, that is just infuriating. They're like, oh, then they play another ring, and then they play another ring. I don't even have my Tidebinder here. They took my Tidebinder. Where's their creatures? They showed us 1,000,000 creatures last game, and now they show us exactly 0 creatures. It may be weird, but I think I want a land next turn so I can attack with both Mutavaults, and if they try to Solitude, I can dismember one of them, 2 damage gets through, and then the ring kills them on their turn. But, like, if I can't kill them next turn, like, this game is going to slip away. Another Teferi, okay. To bounce the ring? But you need another land. Dismember looks so good last game, and this Dismember looks so bad this game. Yeah, they are going to bounce the One Ring. But they need to play... I mean, playing a land should be easy. They have 1,000,000 cards in hand. Oh, it's going to cost them 3 life. Alright, so, like, they're still doing my work for me. Oh, man, if we had Tishana's Tidebinder... Well, actually, it wouldn't do anything, because it's a Teferi. This is... Well, now, like, they die off of their own One Ring. They can play the One Ring. It does nothing. It does nothing, because they can't even activate it. They'll just die on their upkeep. That's so funny. And we can kill the Teferi pretty risk-free here. Okay, we're in a commanding spot here. Our opponent just did all the work with their mana base. Oh, all things considered, that is also a great draw. Okay, I'm just thinking. Maybe we should attack both, because if they have Solitude, they'll eat a Mutavault. So we'll attack with 2 Mutavaults against this Teferi to make sure we get rid of it off the board. Okay, so this deck, in theory, if there's enough Teferis, could probably keep up this ring hoax up for a little while. But it's a tight thing. They gotta be very careful when they draw their 1 card, because it could be their last. And certainly they can't fetch anymore, so that turns off a lot of their cards. Okay, they're going for it. They're like, it's now or never. These Mutavaults, they're coming. They're coming. Anyone have experience with Deeproot Pilgrimage in this matchup? It looks like it would be a fine... This is probably a pretty good spot for Pilgrimage. Although they have quite a few answers. Prismatic Ending, Binding, a lot of One Rings. But then then again, like, Hexcatcher would be stronger versus the One Ring here. Because you can just sack a bunch of Pilgrimage tokens. They're going to resign? Or are they thinking, what creature do we play here? Good games. Thank you for the game. You're very good. I have always enjoyed your content. Thanks so much. GG. And we win the match. Fantastic. Very tough. Very, 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 very tough. Very awkward. Like, I thought... I don't know. Maybe I have to pay attention to what the list looked like. I thought they had, based on game 2, it looked like they had 1 million creatures in their deck, and then the deck was just like it was like Omnath mid-range, but then it just turned into like Omnath control again. So, I mean, I don't know what is best with this Dismember in this matchup, but I mean, I like the insurance, but it really didn't do a whole lot. All right, let's move on to round 4. My opponent's named Jund with nothing. Now, we lost the die roll. The hand seems fine on the draw. Force Negation is a good card to have on the draw because we can interact with our opponent with no mana. And we do have an Ether Vial. We just need a land to hopefully smoothly curve out. Also, depending, if our opponent's a combo deck, we'll just start sacking Lords to these Force Negations. And then maybe if we keep drawing more Lords, this Vial hand will be great. Okay, it appears to be an actual Jund deck. Dragon Rage Chandler, sure. We might get stomped here. This could be like Scam without the Scam cards and replacing it with Dragon Rage. Oh, it's Grixis? So you're telling me you got Bowmasters in there. That's what you're telling me. They dumped a Preordain. Does that mean you have no blue mana? Are you looking for mana? Oh wow, they can do nothing here. Uh-oh. I don't like these hands. They got like infinite like removal or something. Infinite interaction. Oh no, we don't even have land. We don't even have lands ourselves. They're gonna start bolting our face to get this Tishana, these Dragon Rage Channelers online. Now the plus side is maybe we can like overwhelm them. If I draw a land here, that would be so good. Then I can Hexcatcher at the end of their turn, put a Lord in play. Then if they go for a removal spell, we can force negation. And then we dump 2 more Lords on our following turn. Come on. Ideally, blue land, but any land is good here. Ta-da! Okay, that's good. And they've got land. I mean, we could try to ambush these Dragon Rage Channelers, too. Because they can only play one removal spell here, and we do have Force Negation for it. We just need to hope that they don't find anything that makes them fly. Is that relevant? Cancel. Well, if they have an instant, we exile it. So they would need to find an instant off of both Dragon Rage challenges, which, I mean, it's not impossible, to be honest, but... Okay, I'm gonna go for it, because there's a chance we can eat both these guys. It's like, why not? Okay, let's see what they get off of these DRCs. They might want to keep an instant on top. And they might not dump it into the graveyard, so let's not show them our Force of Negation. I mean, I doubt it, because they're, like, choked on mana. But, like, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they're like, oh, that's Lightning Bolt. That's good for us. Okay, they are keeping something on top. Okay, so we're going to completely blow out this player. Now the question is, do I Force Pitch Force or Force Pitch Tishon as Tidebinder? So we're going to dump this, dump 2 more cards. I guess we keep the Tidebinder in the event that... Because they're not going to play anything this turn. I don't think. And then we'll have like an extra creature in the future. Because I really need to draw 1 more blue card in order to make use of the... to make good use out of the second Force of Negation. Because like once we have enough creatures in play, it's probably enough. Do I want to actually tick this thing up to get the other Tishana's Tide? I think no. I think... Ooh, now I'm thinking differently. Okay, I am going to hold up Tishana's Tidebinder. It's just the more mana efficient thing to do. Would you like to fetch? And frankly, like, if they try to bolt anything, I mean, I'll just play Tishana's Tidebinder and sack it. Protect the team. Unholy Heat? Do they even have Delirium? They do have Delirium. If this dies, don't I win anyway? Because I still have this Lord in hand. Okay, do your worst. Tishana, you're not particularly useful, except to feed my Hexcatcher. Did my opponent think I was countering the Unholy Heat with Tishana's Tidebinder, or did they just know that, like, they're just overwhelmed by creatures? Okay, we're up against very likely Death Shadow. Funny enough, I do not like Force Negation in this matchup. It helped us because our opponent was like completely mana screwed, and it only worked because our opponent was mana screwed. If they had like 3 lands in play, none of that would have worked. I want creatures in the deck. Okay, I do like Chalice. I'm not in love with Chalice in the Shadow matchup, but you know what? It's maybe better than nothing. We'll bring in Dismember. Maybe on the draw I'll shave a Vial, bring in another Dismember. Oh no, I mean Dismember. Oh no, I should be shaving. Yeah, I should be shaving actually more 1-drops if I'm gonna go the Chalice route. So let's shave out that many cards, I guess. And hopefully we do not draw them. very similar to last game. I'll keep it. Except, this is a 1-land hand. I mean, I can still interact at one mana. Ooh, Ragavan. I can still interact at 1 mana, but you know, I've got like a mana choked Vile hand with not a whole lot of play out of this 1 land, whereas last game I had 2 force negations. All right, spin the wheel, Ragavan. Spin the wheel. What did the wheel spin? You got a Lord of Atlantis. Congratulations. Da-na-da-na. You've won a Lord of Atlantis. Actual retail price, $8 US. Thank you for being a contestant on The Price is Right. By the way, you have to pay taxes on this Lord of Atlantis. It's not actually free, so either pay up or give it back. We can give it back to our sponsor. Yeah, it went. Oh, they could have played it, but it actually would have helped me. This is one of the crappier cards to draw. All right, give me a land. I guess I don't need the land now. I sort of need the land eventually. So what's mana efficient? Maybe the mana efficient thing to do is just Trickster, the stupid thing. I gotta be very careful with this Hex Catcher, because if they're playing, I mean, they obviously have Bowmasters, so I just have to be very careful around Bowmasters. We gotta tiptoe around that card. I hope they don't have counterspells. That would really suck. That is weird, but okay. I think at their upkeep, I'm going to make a move on their Ragavan. I mean, I don't know if playing around Tishana's Tidebinder is a really big thing here, but I'm going to make some feeble attempt at it. I usually like to save Trickster for like Dragon Rage Chandler, but if they play that, I can still dismember it. And we have another Trickster for it anyway. Save your fetch land. Save it. You never know when you need it. Then let me draw my land to play my Tishana's Tidebinder. Fatal Push on my Trickster. That was greedy as hell. Alright, you get in that 2 damage. Maybe they have a lot of removal, though. Okay, so you always try to pick up, like, what does that mean? Like, what this tells me is that they don't have Bowmaster in their hand, because they would have attacked with both of these things into my Trickster, and if I blocked, I mean, either this Orc army would get bigger, or at least I could block this Bowmaster, and then they shoot down my Trickster. So, I mean, this is how I'm loosely interpreting the situation. That's how I'm loosely interpreting this. We drew another Ether Vial, which is a little useful. Like, it's okay. Because now I can take this thing up to 3 eventually. I sort of want to dismember it, but I don't know when is a good time to do it. Preordain. Like, I imagine they've got Counterspell in this deck. Expressive Iteration. Okay. I should let it resolve first, because if they find another Ragavan, they'll find that it is useless. Okay, they found a Steam Vents. They're going to shock. Does the deck have Shadow? Show me the Shadow. Okay, I'm going to keep my life total high and dry. They elected to kill my Trickster before attacking. I imagine they're still doing it this time. They have a random card in their hand I don't know about. They exiled the Steam Vents. I guess in their mind they don't want to waste. Maybe they have a Bowmaster, but they just don't want to waste it? Like, I don't know. Okay, is this Death Shadow? It is. Okay, good. Because I was sort of waiting to use this Dismember on that. Yeah, I will Dismember and just pray. Oh, man. Is this the good time to do this? So if they have Spell Pierce, that would really suck. And you might think, well, why would they have Spell Pierce versus me? You never know. They could have anything, you know? It would be. It's so mana efficient, though, if I Dismember now. I mean, maybe that was their dilemma. Maybe they have Orcish Bowmasters, but if they're forced to play Bowmasters, then they can't play Death Shadow this turn. But they would do that if they had a removal or not. Because if I don't Dismember, I'm going to want to play something like Hexcatcher. It just makes my hand so mana inefficient. I'm just going to go for it. Oi! Spell Pierce in general is not good versus Merfolk, but I can't tell you how many times people still have it against me post-board. Along with, like, a million other counter spells that are just wild. But anyway, that one resolved. That was good. Okay, now what to do here? We can probably just leave this on too. Probably. Yeah, I don't think that would change anything. Using survivability? No. Oh, we just saved Tishana's Tiebinder for later. 2 Hexcatchers. Okay, so... I mean, I'm just going to play a Lord and attack with my Trickster. I'm a little hesitant to use this mana on for anything. I'm sort of hoping to exchange this Hexcatcher for a Bolt. If I'm going to be given the opportunity. Because this card is very vulnerable versus Bowmasters, but also... Well, here's a question. Do I sack the Trickster? But that's getting in damage. Damage good. Sack this, get a no damage. These guys live. They kill this, Bowmasters that thing off. No, I don't like that. It's a tough line. It's nice to have all the lords on the battlefield. Like, it's nice. And what I also like about this move, a lot of people bring in Stern Scolding versus me. Like, that's a really hot card to bring in against me for some stupid reason. Everyone does it, and I hate getting got by it. So it's nice that they were tapped out, and I had that window to be able to use my mana for this Hexcatcher. Of course, my Lord is vulnerable here, but I was about to think, is that collective brutality? It is not. All right. It looks like they're going to have a little bit of a good turn here. They're going to attack for 4. Peel some cards off the top. Come on, Lord of Atlantis. Get another Lord of Atlantis. They got an island. All right, they're taking the islands out of our deck. And now... take these both up. Now we can protect ourselves from Bowmasters, finally. Spreading Seas! Absolutely useless. I mean, I guess we'll play it on something. It's free. Free Spreading Seas. Oh, we drew a Trickster. Oh no! I triggered this stupid thing. Okay, it was not free at all. I am punished. Punished! I guess I could use the Tishana's Tidebinder on that, but I just didn't want to. If they play another stupid Bowmasters, I'll use Tidebinder on that. Oh, okay, they're waiting for me to attack. Okay, which is fine. If they use up a treasure here, it would be much appreciated. Oh, they're doing nothing. Then I do nothing. I'll let you take 6, and then sort of deal with what's on the board here later. I don't want to play Hexcatcher again. If they play Bowmasters, that would really suck. In light. Okay, what do I want to do here? I guess reduce damage like last time. Unfortunately, I don't have Island Walk here. I just don't. Okay, it looks like they're running short of things to do themselves. No. And no. Ooh! I can do this all at instant speed too. I can Violin Regery, hard cast my Hexcatcher, untap the Vial on 3, and then play Tishana's Tidebinder. Alternatively, what else can I do? No, I'm just going to attack, let them block, and then we figure it out after that. Hopefully this will favor us. Hopefully. They're doing nothing. Nothing at all. Okay, well, so they need 2 removal spells or they die. Dress down. So I still get hit. I still hit them for 4. No, not really. Okay, hold on. I can counter this. Yeah, because we have the Tidebinder. Alright, so this can resolve. Then we will... Hex can't... Oh, no! Hey! Oh, I had to do it in response. Oh, no, it didn't do anything. Okay, I'm an idiot. Okay, I'm just a fucking bozo. I thought this was... You know, I got confused. I got confoozled. Okay, whatever. We're still ahead by quite a bit. But maybe we can lose now. I mean, I was thinking, oh, there's it ETBs everything loses abilities. No, the card itself says creatures lose all abilities. So once they're resolved, I mean, that was too late. Okay, you can preordain. No! I'd probably stifle that card draw anyway as well. I would stifle that card draw. Is another dress down? Ooh, Murktide. That's probably the end of it. Now what do I need? Am I just dead now? Like, I really needed this trigger from my Regery. I screwed that up. I need literally an Island Walker and nothing else. Or no, I could, you know what? A land would help, because then I can tap down the Murktide on my opponent's turn. I could just flash in Tidebinder and that would work. Okay, so I need a land, Island Walker, or any 2-mana flash creature is fine too. No. I screwed that. I've wasted this match playing this Hexcatcher wrong. Okay, we do get the land. Pass. Then upkeep. Do I upkeep this thing? Or do I just wait? Maybe I wait on something. Ugh, I'm just trying to think what I have to play around if I do this upkeep. Just a counter spell, right? I think it's just a counter spell. This thing has to attack. There's so many ways I can still die. Oh, you know what? There was one extra benefit. I should wait for this thing to, I don't know, maybe to trigger or something and like try to counter the ability. So maybe that was worth it. Okay, so if my opponent doesn't rip a lightning bolt, I think we win. Or remove. Actually, a removal spell might keep them in the game because they attack, they kill this. This is just attacking for 1 power and they just block everything else. This game is still interesting. Okay, Death Shadow will not do it though. I have too many 2-power creatures here. And I, of course, have no option but to attack with everything. But if I draw a single creature, that would be good enough for me. Just seal the deal. Seal the deal? Seal the deal! Alright, let's get in for the attack. Lord of Atlantis. For a big... This is a little overkill at this point. But it would have just been an easy win. One says good games. We're like running pretty well in this league. Like, I mean, I don't know how many creatures they have in this deck. Maybe they don't have a whole lot of removal. They're playing with like Preordain. But they're playing with a lot of creatures. They got Ragavan, Dragonrance, Shell, and Murktide, Death Shadow. So that's like 16, maybe 14-ish creatures. Bowmasters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so maybe they don't have so much removal. Because I'm thinking like, if this is a normal Death Shadow deck and they have like 12 creatures and like an infinite amount of removal, this should be tougher. But they have more creatures than removal, then that favors us significantly. Okay, we won the die roll. This hand is awkward. Okay, we're on the play with a Mutavault and a lot of double blue cards. We do have a Mirror Regery. Nope, I don't like it. A little too close. Maybe I would keep it if one of these lords was a Mirror Regery. Then I could go like, I don't know, turn 1. I mean, like, I could go turn 1 Mutavault, Island, Force, pitch a Lord, get Mirror Regery. Because if I draw a land, get Regery in play, then these other 2 lords sort of do compound after each other. Like the moment I draw a blue source, then the whole hand empties. It's just too awkward. But if I were wanting to keep a hand like this, it would be on the play. I mean, it'd be on 7 cards. Because I couldn't... Okay, this hand's fine. Not really good either, because it's just super clunky. Keep... And now here's a real question. What do I get rid of? This hand's not going to be that good if I'm just playing 1 spell a turn for the next who knows how many turns. So I actually might want to curve into 4 lands. Turn 2, play something. Turn 3, play something. I don't know. I guess we're just going to play a really choked game. Scam? The hell is this? Unlucky Witness. Red 1/1. When it dies, exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until your next end step, you may play those cards. See, this is some sort of food deck, maybe? I have no idea what I'm looking at here. It dies. Oh, I'm so tempted. Okay, so like my basic rules are like you shouldn't play Spreading Seas unless you know your opponent's mana screwed, because you can always like Spreading Seas. I don't even I If I knew more about this deck, maybe like if they can't use colorless mana, maybe I'd blow it off here, but I actually have no idea what I'm up against. Unlucky Witness turn 1. This means nothing to me. Do I need to save my Trickster? Should I save it for later? I guess we just start off with Lord of Atlantis. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to wait for. See, they played a land as if the Spreading Seas wouldn't have mattered at all. Do you want your cards? You can attack into me. What is going on here? So I could attack, like what, you have Bowmasters? It dies. Can Bowmasters shoot your own stuff? I'm gonna look at this quickly. Bowmasters. Can Bowmasters ping it? There's the battlefield. Deals 1 damage to any target, so Bowmasters can kill their own unlucky witness. That's how it goes around here. You are unlucky. Your creator might want to finish you off. So if I attack with Lord, they play Bowmaster's Ping, block. I could Flash and Hexcatcher. Or they're probably going to just gang block this thing, so maybe the best option is to play Lord and pass! And then we'll play the Spreading Seas. They didn't even do anything. That is so weird. They did nothing with their mana. I guess they were hoping this thing would die. I'm going to keep you alive, unlucky witness. Today is your lucky day. You should be rewarded for being a witness. Not punished. Another unlucky witness. Okay. What is going on here? Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the next turn, you may play you can play one of those cards. So I can attack here. They could block one. I can Trickster one of them. I really wish I drew a land so I could play. I would definitely play Spreading Seas and Dockhand. When you're really choked on mana, you should try to make plays that just get things on the board. Just like play something to get on the board. Like if I'm going to attack, I could attack in one shot with Spreading Seas. It's possible. They're holding some crap up. I don't even know what it is. Anyway, I'll pass the turn and I'll leave up the option to play Hexcatcher or Trickster. Again, I don't know what this deck is. All right, so if I'm playing too passively for some stupid reason, I mean, like, okay, so they do have the Bowmasters. I know you got the Bowmat. Look, you were telegraphing it the entire time. I know everything. Which is going to make this card suck a little bit more, but like whatever. They did not shoot their witnesses. Interesting, interesting. I tell you what I want this deck to do. I want them to tap out. Oh, they're going to get in. They had enough. What does this mean? Bolt? Another Orc and Bolt, maybe? Anyway, I guess I am not going to block. I mean, I could Trickster one of these. Maybe that's the time to Trickster, then I go to block. And then if they want to Bolt my Trickster, like... Oh, I guess they won't do that. They'll Bolt a Lord, but then they would lose this thing. Am I winning a resource war there? You know what? F it. Just let them do it. This is 3 damage. Who cares? You know, if you're gonna, like, rip me apart later, show me. What the hell? Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, Mayhem Devil deals 1 damage to any target. This is Rakdos Sack in Modern. Sacrifices a permanent. Oh, including this thing. Whatever, a player. Okay, whatever. I don't know what I want to do first. I don't know if I want to get Trickster out first or something else out first. If they have Bolt, I can't really play around that well. Oh no, I can play around that. Okay, let's get the Hexcatcher in play right now. Now if they want a Bolt, they can hit the Lord of Atlantis. Okay, they can't now. So now, so what it's telling me is I don't want them to resolve the sack outlet. Whatever the sack outlet is, it is going to be danger. Oh no. What are my options here? Play Merfolk Trickster, hit the Mayhem Devil, swing out everything. They chump block, take 7 damage. And I basically have lethal by next turn. I can also play Mass of the Pearl Trident, attack with everything. They can double block with Mayhem Devil and Orcish Bowmasters, and then try to bolt. I'll guess I sack my Hexcatcher, but that's a fine trade. Maybe that's what we'll do. Or I guess they could block with Mayhem Devil and ping something. Or maybe I attack with everything. Block with Devil, crack this. Maybe I don't want to make it too easy. Okay, we'll just attack with these two things. It's a lot of damage back anyway. Yeah. What does this deck even look like in Pioneer? I don't even know. I know Rakdos Sack is a big deck in Pioneer. What? You coming from my Hexcatcher? Not dead after all? What is that even gonna do? Not dead after all. Ping. Nothing. Oh, you're just gonna bring your Bowmasters back and make your army a little bit bigger. That's fine. Okay, so this is some sort of scam deck. I guess this sort of works with the evoke creatures, I guess. Guess that's the plan. Well, that didn't get sacked. This card seems very awkward, but maybe they're going to play a card that will just blow me away. But, I mean, I think I've set up a spot to... It's so tempting to play that Spreading Seas every turn, but look at the board position I have here. Just look at the board position I have. We got the Tomb of Arami. Oh my god. Sacrifice all lands. Holy sh... This is actually going to counter my Spreading Seas. No lie. That is so funny. How does it work? Yeah, quadruple black tap. Sack all lands you control. Create Arami, a 5/5 demon. So you're going to hit me for 5. I go to 10. I might as well not block with any. If I block with anything, you'll shoot my board down. Or let me. Okay, I go to 13. You sack 5. I go to something even lower. Oh well. Okay, I'm just gonna take 2. Because if I take the 2 here, I'm just gonna lose a lot of my lords. If I took 2 here, they would shoot this thing for 3. I mean, I guess it doesn't hit me that hard, and I still have. Would I have lethal? 4, 8. 4, 8, 11. It's close. Grief. No! I can take my Spreading Seas. Damn it. Tumarami gonna get me next turn. Or not. Like, I mean, I have Tishana's Tidebinder if we draw land. You have to take this thing. Or you're dead. That's one of our 2 main deck Spreading Seas. Okay. Give me another one. Just give it to me. Because I deserve it. Ah, yes! You can't Thoughtseize what's on top of my deck, opponent. Sack all your lands now. And we can, if there's a removal spell here, we just crack the Hex Catcher and a Kraken for 12. This will still be 4, 8, 12 damage. Better lucky than good. Frankly, I think I played this game very well. I hope this game actually was a little instructive. Although I have no idea. Maybe I could have been more aggressive. Maybe not. This was card advantage, right? I don't know. Maybe I was afraid of it for the wrong reasons. Although early on they were representing Bowmasters and I was playing around it perfectly, and I just played a Lord every single turn. It's very tempting to play like to play the Spreading Seas at any moment to get in damage. Did they have removal? They actually didn't. So if I played a Spreading Seas early, we actually might have done a good chunk of. We might have won by now at this point, or maybe not. Maybe they would have played their. They would have had no choice but to crack the Tomb of Arami. Okay, what do we want? Probably Subtlety, maybe. I don't even know if I want Dismember. I mean, our opponents just sort of represented that they are fully willing to put everything into the graveyard. Does Curse Totem do anything? No, those are all death trigger things. I guess we do want Dismember. We'll take out Force of Negation. Do we want Subtlety? Probably not. Yeah, I think this is fine. We'll submit. Hand's a hand. Keep. We got our Meroregery. The Meroregery. Okay, keep. Another unlucky witness. He's back. And he's witnessed something, and he knows he's about to be very unlucky. Some of you might be asking, what do we have the Dismembers for? Mostly for grief, if they scam it in play. Oh my god, Bloodghast. That's a wild card. Did they mulligan? Yeah, they mulligan to 6. Okay, what did we learn last game? We learned things and stuff. Okay, so they have Bowmasters. Let's just go after the red mana here. Okay, I have a little bit better idea of their deck. Let's go in for get in for 1 damage. They didn't seem to have any hard removal. I mean, I'm sure it's in the deck, but I mean, I didn't see it. Alwak. It's in his name. My name's, it's his middle name. Rishadan Islandwalk Dockhand. Is this just some... I swear someone took their Pioneer deck and threw it into Modern. Another unlucky witness. Very, very, very unlucky. Trickster. So I have the option to swing out, they block with Unlucky Witness, and it just dies. I think that's totally fine. Actually, I could attack with a Tide Shaper, then tap something down on their turn, because they don't seem to have a lot of red mana. I don't even know what mana source I want to attack yet. I guess... No, do you know what? We can attack with both of these and save up the mana, just dismember something. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting greedy here. Okay, this is a good use of Trickster, though. This is exactly what Trickster's for. Your card gets no value, and then it just dies. Oh, you know what I didn't play around? I didn't play around Bowmasters. They could have just thrown a Bowmasters out there and killed my Tide Shaper. Ooh, big punt. Ragavan. Alright, that's what we got Dismember for. I'll help you out a little bit, opponent. I'll help you out. Yeah, we're at 13. Courtesy of me. Don't forget to put your Ragavan back in hand. I don't know what they have. They don't have You're Already Dead. They don't seem to have a lot of cards. I will play Lord of Atlantis. Or do I want to sandbag Lord of Atlantis? If I play Lord of Atlantis, I can hold up Dismember. Yeah, I think that's slightly better. It will be my last to Dismember. The benefits of playing Mirror Readery is that they don't have a sack outlet, and so they can't Fatal Push it. Like, they don't have, was it Delirium? Not Delirium. Is it Delirium? What's the mechanic? Sack something, get value. I don't even know anymore. I don't even remember. Another unlucky witness. Oh my god. So many witnesses are unlucky. I don't blame them. Okay, I take 3. You're just dead, right? Pretty sure you're just dead. Well, okay, so I think the play is... Okay, hold on. How much damage am I getting through? 3, 6, 8. Yeah, this is lethal. So I'll play Dockhand. When it resolves, we'll just attack for lethal. If they have any removal, we'll play Hexcatcher, sack the Dockhand and Hexcatcher to save the board. But it looks like this will get through. All right, we got a 5-0 here. We got a good old 5-0. Look, we didn't even need Mirror Readery in that game. Honestly, this was not the metagame I was building the deck for. Merfolk Pilgrimage was probably better for this, but we still got 5-0 anyway. Although I guess some main deck Cs were helpful in some of the games. I don't know. Like, this deck is supposed to be built for like Yawgmoth, Amulet, Tron, Murktide. Well, maybe not so much Murktide. What did I say before? Yawgmoth, Amulet, Footfalls, Murktide, Living End, and Scam. Oh, wait, do you know what? We played against a little bit of Scam. We did play against a little bit of Scam. I didn't even need Svaelun or anything. Honestly, a lot of it doesn't really mean a whole lot. I think the fact that Fury's out of the metagame, and then some of our... It's possible that cards like Hexcatcher never got a great opportunity to shine because Fury always existed. So now that Fury is gone, Hexcatcher now looks a lot better than it was before. So some of the cards, the nice goodies that we've gotten over the years, Tideshaper, Dockhand, Hexcatcher, in addition to like Tishana's Tidebinder, all these cards can like really breathe in this metagame without getting harassed by a damn Evoke Elemental that wipes out our entire board. Definitely Tishana's Tidebinder is a easy lock for the 75. But anyway, I really don't want to say that much about this deck. A lot of Merfolk players are getting 5-0s like all over the board. We really just need to start testing it into like modern challenges, which is what I'm going to do going over the next few months. I don't know when, but I do have a regional championship coming up early February, so I do have to be prepared, and the only way I'm going to get a good experience is like putting this deck in a modern challenge to really know what its weaknesses are, because frankly in the leagues, you know, there's enough loose players and you can get lucky with matchups, and frankly I did see some of the metagame, but if you play in a open Swiss with a top 8, you're definitely going to run into like, it'd be hard to not run into Yawgmoth or Amulet or Footfalls or Living End. Though I'm totally prepared for Living End. All right, you like 5-0s? I hope you like 5-0s. We got another 5-0. I don't even know if Tishana's Tidebinder did a whole lot in this league. It was just all lords. We just played cards, we turned them sideways, and we won. All right, hope you liked it, and I will see you guys next time.